And yes, I do pray, Mom. I don't know why.
Yes, I do pray, doubter. You're live over here at 7:77 a.m. The Well.
The Well.
Yeah. Gonna get you through your day.
Yes.
Hey, started it all.
Yep.
Started it all.
Several years ago.
I think if I'm honest with you, I'm playing footsie with you.
Uh-huh.
I just realized I've never extended my feet in this whole podcast.
What?
Yeah, I'm always like under my chair.
Oh.
And you're probably always extended.
Welcome to the cozy world of the podcast.
But here we go, episode 14. Mm-hmm. And I just took a shot.
14 already? Whew.
That's like 100.
Yeah. Maybe we should quit.
Not at all. Hey, if you want to quit, I'm down to punch you in the face.
Yeah. I punched myself in the face. It's too good. It's just too good.
Well, I was going to say, this is much better than the first crap we were doing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here's a good question. Do you remember how that stuff happened? Like the sort of fake radio station?
Vaguely?
I'd remember.
Yeah.
So, do you remember? I know you remember Voxer.
Yeah, for sure.
But do you remember Haytel?
I do.
For those who don't, it's like walkie-talkies. Right?
Haytel was before Voxer, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Voxer came along and we were like, "Oh, I think this is better."
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
But I remember Haytel. Oh, for those watching, those listening, Haytel is kind of like walkie-talkies, and probably now everyone knows what Voxer is,
Right.
even though no one uses it anymore except for older people.
Yeah.
It's kind of like walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
You just hit a button on your phone, say something. The other person will get a message, almost like a text message, but it's an audio message.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason, me and you used it like a lot.
Because it was our texting.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think we used it more for comedy
Well, yeah.
than literally anything.
Well, I think we used it a lot because we were driving as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was one reason.
So I remember we were in the garage of the house in Buford.
Yep.
And we probably were smoking cigars.
Probably.
And we had this idea, let's pretend we're radio hosts and Haytel random people. And so we Haytel'd like Katie Morgan and JR and Justin Warner.
Yep.
And they all played back. Like they kind of like played into it. Well, then I got home using some free software like Audacity or something. And I kind of like put it all together to where it sounded like a real radio show.
Yeah.
And then from then on, and by the way, that was almost 10 years ago. Well, no, not 10.
It was close. It was, like, like 8 or 9 years.
It might be 10 years. 9 or 10 years ago.
Yeah, because we started living together 8 years ago.
And from that moment, me and you wanted to be radio hosts.
Yeah.
Which is now podcast.
Right.
But we died laughing at how completely natural that felt to us.
Right.
And I've always wanted to be some sort of host.
Yeah.
Of something. Like, so people have asked me, like, what's your dream job? I'm like, oh, man, I'd love to be Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
But now, go ahead.
And well, you were saying, because as soon as Jimmy Fallon took over the Tonight Show, you're just like, that would be the dream job for me.
Oh my gosh.
And like you, but I was the other guy. I was like, that's the job I want, janitor. No, I wanted.
I want to make copies for Jimmy Fallon.
I want, in all seriousness, I wanted Questlove's job.
Oh yeah,
because he was
that'd
like,
be cool.
Because I was like, wait, a drummer that works Monday through Friday and has the weekends off, and lives in New York City,
and gets involved.
I'm down.
And gets involved in the jokes.
Yes,
he's like they pull them out there and
Absolutely.
yeah. But this to me is more fun. I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
It's because I'm not doing it by myself.
Yeah.
Like, sure, I would still enjoy being a host if I was by myself.
Sure.
But nowhere near the amount that I enjoy it now. Because there's something valuable about us just having a conversation,
Yeah.
right? Like just, me looking across the table from you and talking to you.
Yep.
And people have asked, for some of our bits, like, how do you come up with this? How long does it take? And it's like, no. I don't think you understand. This, just so everyone knows, this is how Nathan and I talk to each other.
It's true.
Some of it's improv. Some of it's just, this is literally, how we talk to each other. And
Yeah.
we really want this podcast and this show to feel like you're in the room with us.
Yeah. We want you for the ride along.
Yes.
We just have a big conversion van that now seats 38 people.
Yes.
And on Instagram, it seats 170 some odd people.
So I'm Kevin Hart and you're Ice Cube. Is this how this works?
Sure. Yeah.
Ride along?
Yep.
Is it Ice Cube?
It is Ice Cube.
Okay.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if it was Ice Tray or Ice Tea or I knew it wasn't Vanilla Ice.
No, Cube is the one.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, okay. I'll be that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think this podcast is going well.
Yep.
And
It's definitely fun.
I think it's going well because, I thought about this in the car earlier. And by earlier, I mean yesterday, because I haven't been in the car today.
That was earlier.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was earlier, just not earlier today.
Right.
I was thinking about this, like, if our goal is to do what we want to do, which is be comedians and do a podcast and do a YouTube show.
Yeah.
Check this out. We've already made it. Because we're doing this every week.
Sure.
This is what we want to do.
Yep.
We're doing it every week.
Yeah.
And so I was going to talk to you about this off the podcast, but we're going to talk about it now.
Okay.
Like, think about that. Like, we've already made it.
Yeah.
Now, sure, monetary wise, we would like, this to be something we can do full time.
Sure.
And, a little more freedom in our choices. And, but in terms of the ability to film a podcast every week, make each other laugh and put out a show, we made it.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting way to think about it.
Yeah. And it's, it's still early on, but like, I look forward to it every week.
Oh, very much.
Just to hang and different stuff that we talk about, because half the stuff that we do talk about, we don't plan on talking about.
Yeah.
And so it makes good for conversation, and it makes good for conversation on the spot.
Yeah.
And I'm very spontaneous. I like to make decisions like last second or whatever. And
Yeah.
And sorry for the lisp. I have braces in. I just heard it and I was like, wow, that is really thick right now.
That's okay.
So anyways, no, but
it just got worse.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, but it just got worse.
Yeah, it did. So the spontaneity of this podcast.
Which, by the way, my whole life I thought it was spontaneity.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Just like you thought all nuggets were McNuggets.
McNuggets. Yep.
For a long time.
And they still are.
I was calling it spontaneity.
Yeah.
And ain't none of y'all corrected me. And I know I ain't that dang intimidating when I
guess I never noticed it.
You probably would have corrected me.
Yeah.
But I've said it
have.
before. You and my wife would definitely be like, hey, man, spontaneity. But I said spontaneity forever, and no one said a word.
Yeah.
And then one day, my wife said spontaneity. I go, isn't it spontaneity? She goes, no.
Just how I thought you would react.
Dude, my wife is such a sassy, sweet person.
You're right.
Like she's like a even mixture of sweet and sassy.
Yeah.
And if I was like,
she'll tell you like it is, but she doesn't want to hurt your feelings, obviously.
Yeah.
But she'll tell you what it is. And just be like, no ifs, ands, or buts. This is how it is.
Well, then let me add to it because you're right.
Yeah.
It's usually just me and her mom that she's sassy to.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else, she's just a sweetheart.
Sure.
But I get the right down the middle treatment of sweet and sassy.
As you should.
And so if I say something wrong, she does not have it in her DNA to go, no, I'm sorry, it's actually spontaneity.
Right.
She goes, no. And to be fair, if she was listening right now, to be fair, she would be like, well, you're just as sassy as I am. And I would say, yes, but I'm also that sassy to everybody.
Yeah.
But also sweet.
Sure.
I think I am a mixture of...
You're like a sweet tart.
I'm a sweet tart.
Yeah.
Dude, do you know what I'm just sitting here thinking about?
Cannon Plumbing.
How did you...
Right?
How did he know? I'm sitting here thinking about...
I know.
Cannon Plumbing.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting here thinking about, I got a situation. Mm-hmm. What plumber do I call?
Right.
Or maybe you're like, I might have a situation.
Yeah.
In 3 years.
Sure.
And what plumber do I call?
Right.
Well, Jeremy, what's my situation? That's not what we're talking about.
No.
You're going to have a situation.
Sure.
Crap is literally going to hit the fan.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
And you're going to need someone to call. Mm-hmm. It ain't going to be Ghostbusters.
No.
It's going to be...
Cannon Plumbing.
Cannon Plumbing.
Mr. Clint McCannon himself.
God. He's the
Come
best.
to your house, clean that crap right up.
He's the best.
Yeah.
And, you know...
He knows his crap.
He's the best.
Yeah. He's seen it all.
He's seen it all. Spring, summer, fall.
Seen it all.
He's seen it all. If you want to know more, why don't you go ahead and go to cannonplumbingllc.com.
LLC. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, comparing me and you, the amount of, like, when you walk in a room and someone looks at Nathan and says, hey, that's a good dude. Mm. I wonder how much me and you are the nice guy and how much we are the sassy part. Because I know the sassy part of you.
Yeah.
You know the sassy part of me. Mm-hmm. But you and I are really good in public and hiding that.
The sassiness is steeped in sarcasm with me.
That's true.
For sure.
And for me, it's really, I don't know, man. Like Bill Burr says, I go from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Because I'm idling at 75.
Right.
But
that
for
dude
me,
is for sure.
I'm not like you. I know what you're talking about. You've got the sarcastic remarks. You got the...
Yeah.
And for me, I'm just kind of like, nice, nice, nice. And then you put the bear in the corner and I just, boom.
Yeah.
I don't actually hit people anymore.
Right. Yeah. And it depends on the type of person. I'm like that too. If I know you really, really well and we're good friends and you know my sense of humor, sarcasm all day.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you get it.
Yeah.
The people who I don't do it to is people that don't get my sense of humor as much.
Yeah.
But then, if you don't know me at all, but you just kind of rub me the wrong way as soon as I met you, and then that's when I'll get really sarcastic.
Okay.
And I won't like break face or whatever because I don't want you to know that I'm making fun of you in front of you.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just play dumb, but I'm really sarcastic. And it's kind of mean, but I don't do that to a lot of people.
Well, my favorite thing that you've ever done, this is almost exactly what you're describing.
What's that?
Is when someone rides your tail on the road
Yeah.
The thing where you're probably better for you to tell the story, but the thing where you slow down and pretend you don't know where you're going.
Well, they used to work on my last car because I had South Carolina plates.
Okay.
So you're right. If somebody was riding me, just all upon my rear end, that bothers a lot of people. And it especially bothers me.
Yeah, it bothers me too.
So if I'm like, if it's like 2-lane, just like one lane going one way and the other one going the other way, double yellow line, so they can't pass me.
Sure.
At that time anyway. So I'll pretend that I just don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
So then let's just say there's a neighborhood coming up on the right, and I'm like, and I have to act it out with me because I want it to be real.
Yeah.
Just in case they can see inside. So I put my blinker on. I'm just like, and then I slow down, and I'm like, no, that's not it. And then keep going, and then there's another neighborhood, and I'm like, oh, this has got to be it. Nope, not it. Nope, let's keep going. And the person behind me is probably just losing their mind.
But they're not actually.
Should.
But they're not actually going to confront you because they
know
they think it's like it's the best thing ever.
Because I had South Carolina plates, and I'm in Georgia, and
even if you're in Georgia, I still think you could do that. And people would write you off as an idiot.
Yeah,
and they wouldn't get so mad at you.
Yeah.
So my problem used to be I would play with them directly.
Yeah.
Like I would dude, some of the things I've done in the past, I don't know how I didn't get in a fight, but I've literally complete stop in the middle of the road because someone was riding my tail. I wouldn't do that now. I'm wiser, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Because you just don't know what kind of trouble I could get into.
Yeah.
I was a lot more direct until I heard that story. And here's what I do now. And I think you're going to love this. So let's say we're on the interstate.
Yeah.
And some dude, and I'm going a reasonable speed limit.
Yep.
So say it's 65 or 70, and I'm going 80, right?
Yeah. Right.
And this guy comes up and just rides my tail.
Yeah.
So here's what I do. Got my cruise on 80, and I'll just tap it down one. So then I go down to like 78, and I'll do that for like 30 seconds, and then I'll tap it down again. And so I gradually get slower.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know I'm doing it on purpose.
Right.
And dude, they get so freaking upset, but they're not mad at me. They're like, it's not like I did something that will trigger road rage for specifically me.
Right.
They just think I'm, being slow and clueless.
Yeah.
But I'm literally like notch by notch getting slower. And this one time I went from like 80 all the way down to like 62 before this guy passed me. And so I stole that from you because it's safer.
Yeah, for sure. If you act dumb, then people are just going to be like, well, obviously he's lost.
Dude,
or just didn't know where he's going.
One of the most brilliant things I've ever learned from you. It's like, why don't you pick at them?
Yeah.
But don't let them know you're picking
because
at them.
they know they're in the wrong. They have to know that they're in the wrong.
Yeah.
If you can see the VIN number on my car and it's like you're a little too close, bro.
Yeah.
And so he's like, but it's so frustrating. So but once I do that, I feel better.
Yeah.
Because I know they feel worse.
Sure.
So it's like, well,
dude, it's great.
There you go.
Because
it's what you deserve.
Like you're talking about, like if someone's rude to you, you are sarcastic in a way that doesn't escalate things.
Yeah.
Or me, if someone's rude to me, I would say, hey, don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
And then they're immediately ready.
It's mostly with musicians.
Well, yeah.
Because they think, the young kids, they think they know it all. Because, I mean, I was there. But, I've learned from older musicians when I was growing up. And now I was like, well, they're going to have to learn from me too.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know what? And, because I've been, as many people know, I'm in a wedding band. Have been for 11 years now.
Yeah.
And so we play.
One day that couple's going to get married.
Well, yeah, exactly. They keep canceling it, but luckily we have a deposit.
We're playing the same wedding every week, and they still have cold feet.
Yep, exactly. But we already have our deposit, so luckily we get paid half of that anyway.
Yeah.
So, But anyway, so I play cover tunes for a living. Mm-hmm. So this kid walks to me. I think you were there, actually. It was at
Possibly.
Corbin.
I do remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he came up to me and he was like, hey, man, you like, he's like, I love the way you play. He's like, you in a band? And I was like, mother, yes, I am. He was like,
holy.
How dare you question me?
Yeah. For those, if this is your first episode.
Yeah. Welcome.
Sometimes yes, welcome. But more importantly than you being welcome.
Yeah.
Is knowing that we use the school bus backup reverse beep as censored to cuss words.
Yes.
You're welcome.
And it has to because JT here lives in a cul-de-sac, so they have to back out.
Yeah.
So it happens on a daily basis.
It does. Mm-hmm.
So.
Even on the weekend.
Where was I? Yes. Kid comes up to me and says, he's a drummer too.
Yeah.
So he's like, man, y'all sounded great tonight and very cool at first.
Yeah.
And then he's like, are you in a band? I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, I do weddings and corporate events and stuff like that. And so he's like, so you play cover tunes? I was like, yeah, that's all I play. And he's like, oh, okay. I'm an original guy myself, and that's all I do. I won't play cover tunes. And I was like, well, you better learn how to pay your bills some other way then.
So true, dude. So true.
Unless you're Justin Bieber, I mean, but that's probably not gonna happen,
dude. Yeah.
So,
I was in to quote him, I was in an original only band.
You were,
and we didn't make any money. So I totally agree with you on this.
Yeah,
and
well, it's not that you didn't make money; you just didn't know if you were going to make money that night.
It wasn't consistent,
right?
Exactly. Where like I've told this story before, but I remember subbing in for you guys in Indianapolis. And I got done playing. I walked off stage, and your manager handed me a check. Yeah. I'm like, this is not the music industry. All you musicians listening know. Yeah. You go play at a church, at a venue, a bar, or whatever. They'll be like, hey, we'll get you the check in a week, maybe 2, maybe 3. It is not normal. I played with you guys.
Yeah.
Walked off stage, and they hand me the check. I was like, hey.
Yeah.
And then that particular night, he handed me the check, and he's like, you want to play tomorrow night? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Because you know why? I knew I'd get another check.
Absolutely.
That night.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so. That reminds me, dude. I played at Bethlehem years ago.
Right.
And there's this one part where I had like a
Bethlehem of Judea, where Jesus was born.
This is exactly right. It's exactly right.
Nice.
And
that is a long drive for that church service.
Whew. Yeah. So,
Bethlehem, Georgia. Just kidding.
Yeah, it is Bethlehem, Georgia.
Go ahead.
It was at the Sea of Galilee Hardware. All right.
Sea of Galilee is a helpful hardware store.
Yeah. Oh, I get what you're doing. No, I was playing at Bethlehem Church. It was one of their night of worships, which, when people do night of worships, it feels more like a rock concert than a church service.
Yeah.
I don't mean from a, spiritual thing. I just mean the production's higher, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And there's this one part where I just, ripped a fart. No, I'm just kidding. Ripped a solo. And
I was about to say, I do that.
I was told to rip this solo.
Sure.
So I tore it up. And, I've been, I've been playing for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so, especially in worship music, it's very easy to sound good because guitar and worship music is just, it's elementary, is all I'll say.
Yeah.
But then, anyway, after the night ended, this little kid came up to me. Mm-hmm. And he was like, he was a little kid, like 7, 8 years old. Yeah. He came up to me. He's like, excuse me, mister. I was like, yeah. He goes, man, I really, he didn't say what your kid said. He said something like, good job tonight. That's what he said. He's like,
Yeah.
good job tonight. I said, hey, man, I appreciate that. He goes, how long you been playing? I said, I've been playing about 20 years. And he goes, just keep it up. You keep it up. And he walked off. And then actually, like, in a weird way, he was like patronizing.
Right, yeah.
It was almost like, you'll get there, kid. That's almost like how I felt, And dude,
oh my gosh.
I told everybody. I told Joel and Jeremy Curtis and all these people. And dude, every time I'd play like a ripping solo, Joel would come over and he'd be like, hey, keep it up. Keep it up. You'll get there.
How old was he? Do you know?
Oh, dude,
Like
I think
a
he was like
guesstimate.
7 or 8.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't actually know how old he is.
I wonder if he's been told that all of his life, and that's the only thing he knew to say.
Yeah. Oh, no. The kid it was extremely obvious he was trying to be nice.
You're right.
He was not trying to be patronizing.
Okay.
But because he's young, he didn't understand the way that it come off.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
He doesn't know how to say it.
He was trying to be cool, like that kid you met at Mall, Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So we were walking through the Mall of Georgia. This was years ago.
Yeah. It's when I had long hair and everybody could recognize me from a mile away.
Yeah. And so this family comes up. It was a mom, like a middle school girl,
Yeah.
and then like a young boy.
Yeah.
And they came up to you, and then they say like, hey, are you the 12-stone drummer?
Right. Yeah.
And then go ahead.
And which was funny because there was about 8 of us.
Yeah.
But they just recognized me because I had the long hair and glasses or whatever. But yeah, so they were like, it's like, oh, it's a 12-stone drummer. And they wanted, the girls wanted a picture with me.
Yeah.
And then, so like the brother, I guess he was just kind of standing over to the side.
Yeah.
Didn't really say much. And then they took a picture of me and then we were sitting down at one of those lounging areas. And so I sat back down and he comes over and he's like, 12-stone drummer. He's like, I enjoy your work.
No, he said, I'm a fan of your work.
I'm a fan of your work. That's it. Stuck his hand down. I was just like,
oh, and I was like,
whoa.
I was right beside you. I watched it happen.
Yeah.
It was,
he was like 11, 12.
Kid was so professional.
Yeah, he was.
Just shook your hand and he had like a nice posture.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm a fan of your work.
Thinking back on it, I should have stood up if he was going to be that proper, but I wasn't expecting it. I was just kind of shocked and I was just like,
or just like,
thanks, man.
Or,
wow.
Or like go the other way. Shut up, kid.
Right.
Get out of here, kid. Get.
Shake my hand. Now recognize the back of it.
Yes. Brad.
Yeah. But how long ago was that? Man, that was a long time ago. Wonder how old his sister is now. Wonder how old his sister is now.
So, dude, we haven't talked about this yet. But tomorrow, we are going to get...
We're getting shot.
We're going to get shot.
At dawn.
Hopefully in the arm.
Yeah.
By a needle.
Yes.
We're getting our vaccine tomorrow.
Vaccination time, baby.
And we're carpooling.
We are.
So if you didn't think JT and Cooley were close enough, you didn't think we're a package?
We're getting vaccinated together. Yep.
And afterwards, we're going to cuddle.
And probably in the future, we're probably going to get vasectomies together too.
Yes. We're going to give each other vasectomies. But how do you feel about tomorrow? I mean, are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you both? Or
yeah, a little bit of both.
Me too.
I'm mostly excited than nervous because I've just heard good reports and the worst I've heard is breaking out into a fever and for a few hours, which sucks. But I know how to maintain that. But
a couple people same, including my wife. I had a fever for a few hours, but it's not flu-like symptoms that last for 7 days. It's like flu-like symptoms that could last for a couple hours, or maybe a day.
Now, did she take anything for that or no?
I don't remember.
Okay.
By the way, there's
they wouldn't.
not to get too much into this, but there's so much misinformation on the internet.
Oh my gosh.
Like on TikTok, especially, there's these people out there like, don't take Tylenol 3 days before your vaccine and don't drink alcohol after your vaccine. And it's like, my wife is like, I'm not saying that that's wrong.
Yeah.
But I never heard that.
Right.
And it ended up being like Dr. Drew,
Oh, really?
I don't know if you know that guy, but
I know.
No one listens to him anymore.
Right.
It's like, anyway.
New subscriber, Dr. Drew.
You know what, Dr. Drew? I'm through with you.
Thanks for the subscription.
Yeah. Appreciate your subscription. Won't you comment below so I can delete it? Anyway. But yeah, I look, man, not this year, but 2020 was just so weird.
Yeah.
That I want to get out of it.
It wasn't the best year I've ever had.
I want to get out of it. And we are out of 2020.
We are.
But I want to do my part. I want to get out of this. So I am super excited about tomorrow.
It's kind of like 2020 so far is kind of like winter in Georgia. It's kind of hanging on by a thread. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be gone pretty soon.
It is.
And it's going to warm up. Everybody's going to feel fine.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Anyway, because that's my prayer for everyone anyway.
Yes.
And yes, I do pray, Mom. I don't know why.
Yes, I do pray, doubter.
It's to my God, not yours.
Yes.
God, no, just kidding. It's awful.
I hate. I can't stand when people do that stuff. Like, you know what my least favorite one is?
What's that?
Is that my church hashtag my church is better than yours.
Oh no!
Listen, do you know the skillets that you cook ground beef in?
Sure.
Like a nice round 14-inch skillet.
Oh yeah.
I want to take that and hit them right upside the face.
Yeah.
Anyway, Don't get me down that road.
Right.
You'd get a skillet to the head.
Yeah.
Talking some real ground beef.
What's the makers stamped on their head?
What'd you say?
What's the maker of a skillet just stamped on their head?
I don't even know.
I have no idea either.
But I do. You know what I would do? Screw the skillet.
Tupperware. No.
Screw the skillet.
Yeah.
I would do a cast iron. Just because it really makes me mad.
Yeah.
Don't say your church is better than someone else's.
No.
That's the weirdest thing ever.
So dumb.
Like, what are you?
So dumb.
Anyway.
You can be proud of your church.
Absolutely. You can say, I love my church.
Yep.
You can say
that.
anything other than,
You can say that right there.
hey, look at there. I love my church.
This isn't my church, but I stole this from my brother. It's his church. He loves it though.
I have some bad news.
So,
I know you can't see the back of your shirt,
yeah.
but someone taped over church.
Oh. So what does it say?
It says, I love green beans.
That is not true.
I was actually trying to think of something funny, and then I couldn't. And then I remembered you don't like green beans.
I don't.
And so I was like, your shirt says I love green beans. Which you are welcome to say my green beans are better than your green beans.
Sure.
It's not your church. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm really not going to hit you in the head with a cast iron.
No.
But I just want you to know how much I want to.
Yeah.
Like I have an overwhelming can't go to sleep at night desire.
Like I have a boomerang in my head of just
and like almost like a ring of a
Feels
snare.
good.
Like a ring of a snare after. Bing,
yeah. Exactly.
And then I'm going to take another one on the other side. Kind of like Gordon Ramsay with the idiot sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Goodness gracious.
But idiot skillet.
You're very much right. I do think that this is going to be a much better year. It already feels better to me.
Absolutely.
And you know what else is happening tomorrow?
Huh.
baseball.
Ted Williams has come back to life?
That is really awful.
The kid's back in town.
But, he is frozen.
I know. Well, his head's frozen,
Actually,
right?
they're his head and his body are
They
frozen.
don't have a picture of it, do they?
No, dude.
Oh, thank God.
No.
I was going to get freaked out.
But in this okay, here we go. So this is what you're talking about. This is in the book called The Kid, The Immortal Life of Ted Williams. It's an awesome biography.
Yeah.
But this talks about you have two basic options if you're going to be frozen after you die, which is what is it? Cryo something?
Cryogenic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first option is called a whole body procedure in which the entire body is frozen. The second is known as the neuro. This is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
In which only the head is frozen and preserved after being severed from the torso.
Okay.
Which is then cremated or buried. I guess they're saying the torso is then cremated. The third variation is what Ted Williams did. The third, and I'm reading this from the book. The third variation provides for freezing both the torso and the head separately. So you're not freezing your body and you're not throwing the torso away. We're decapitating you, and then we're freezing your head, and we're also going to freeze your torso.
But not together.
Not together. Okay.
So
hold on. It's answering your question. They store both the bodies and the head in huge thermos bottle-like tanks known as dewars. That's why Dewar's Scotch sucks.
Now we know.
Now we know. Which are filled with liquid nitrogen cooled to minus 321 degrees Fahrenheit.
This tastes like a baseball player who batted 400 one year.
Dude, Dewar's Scotch is that bad.
Oh, dude, it's gross. I hate Dewar's.
If I took I'm not even going to go there. That's a weird joke. But it is that bad.
Right.
So in 2002, the whole body procedure cost 120 grand. And the neuro was 50 grand. So, I mean,
Sheesh.
I'm like, was the third one much cheaper or is it more expensive? It doesn't say.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the same price. Oh, no. The whole body is what he did.
Oh, yeah.
But
it's just separated.
Yeah. This is weird, dude.
So weird.
And I didn't expect to read this.
Has anybody else been frozen?
Austin Powers.
Well, yeah.
Dude, Austin Powers, when he comes out.
Oh, my gosh.
And the peeing scene.
His evacuation process. Yeah. Evacuation, come.
Yeah.
Evacuation, come.
So the weirdest part was that I'm pretty sure, I was trying to find it. I'm pretty sure Ted did not want this. Like he didn't ask.
Really?
Yeah, it was his son did it. And the whole family was actually kind of upset about it. For good reasons, kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But his son did it without his permission, and well, that sounds horrible. Before he died.
Well, yeah. Plus, you don't even have you haven't even frozen Ted Williams in his prime. Ted Williams is frozen in his old state.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
what good is that going to do?
Yeah. Can't hit a baseball anymore.
No.
That's a good point. What's your thinking here?
Just saying.
What's your thinking of like I'm freezing an old man? It's nothing against old men, by the way.
No.
But
I like old men. That's
old men. Awful. Old men are not going to bat over 400 in the major leagues.
Yeah. No.
And neither was Ted at that age.
No.
But now, yeah. So why didn't they freeze him earlier? Probably because he didn't die.
Well, yeah. Well, that's true.
This is getting to be a really dark version of our podcast.
Yeah.
It's all in humor.
Well, who died of Lou Gehrig's disease?
Lou Gehrig.
Got it. He. Now I remember.
What day is Black Friday on? Friday. Gosh. Hey, when is March Madness?
Yeah, it's in March. Oh, yeah, that was your legit question.
I was actually serious about that.
Yeah.
Who died of Lou Gehrig's disease? Lou Gehrig.
Now, it would have been okay to freeze Lou Gehrig because he was still young.
Yeah.
That's when you want to do it.
Yeah. Also, here's an idea. Don't freeze people.
Yeah.
It's kind of my thing. So, yeah, man, baseball is literally here tomorrow. I cannot wait.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about.
That's how this started. Mm-hmm. So tomorrow I pointed at the book of Ted Williams. It's going to be baseball.
Baseball.
That turned into freezing and then Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I literally did not know. And you're probably going to be like, really, dude? I actually did not know that Dana Carvey played the drums.
Oh, yeah.
And here's how I got there. Austin Powers, Mike Myers. I watched Wayne's World on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the episode where they had Aerosmith come to the show.
Yeah.
You seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And at the end, Dana Carvey as Garth, he's playing the drums. I'm like, hold on a second. He's really playing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I looked up other clips, and then I looked up the clip in the movie where he's in the store.
Yeah.
And the guy comes up to him, and he's like, man, you sounded great. And he's like, I like to play.
Ding. Oh, yeah.
I meant to tell you this, that I watched that clip, and I'm like, I bet you Nathan knew this.
Well, I didn't know that he could play at the time I was watching the movie. But I was just like, man, I was like, wow. I was like, if he can't play, then that's like really close.
Yeah.
But yeah, it turns out he did play. And then a friend of mine knew that he was, it was like just after Wayne's World had come out, that he was at a U2 concert and he came up.
A YouTube?
U2. U2, the band from
I will quote
Scranton.
Yeah. One of my favorite Michael Scott quotes is, man, we got to get YouTube out here to film this. Anyway, he was at a U2 concert.
Yes. And another Michael Scott quote was, what's the band from Scranton? Was it U2? Yes. That's exactly who it is.
Go ahead.
But they had him there, and they had him on the drum set, and he was playing. And I think I don't know what song he was playing, but he was playing one of the songs with the band. And
cool.
And then and that's when I realized that I was like, oh, he's a for real drummer then. So I was like, that's kind of cool.
Dude, you know what else I watched on YouTube? Speaking of that, I watched like an hour and something long video of Taylor Hawkins. Is it Taylor Hawkins? Oh, Sadie Hawkins is what I was thinking with the Reliant KV. I was like, did I just say Sadie Hawkins? No.
Right.
Taylor Hawkins, drummer for the Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Not telling you something you don't know. But it's like an hour and a half masterclass.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it.
It's really, really good. It's mostly talking, which I got to say, I liked that. Like, I've seen him play enough.
Sure. And
I know a lot about drums, even though I'm not like a drummer like you. I do know a lot about drums.
You know your way around a drum set.
Yeah. For sure. I know exactly what you should play. I just may not be able to play it.
Right.
So I really honestly wanted to hear his philosophy about things.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like if you have the time, I think you would love that.
Yeah. Well, I want to know what he says because he's in the same band with one of the greatest drummers, one of the greatest rock drummers to ever live, in Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
And I know he's been asked that question a bunch of times or whatever. And Dave is just like, he's like, it doesn't matter. Taylor is the best drummer in this band. You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, not true, but he is a really, really good drummer.
Yeah. And I love every time he hits the snare, he like,
yeah. Yeah.
That's a good impression. But all right. So I think that's the end today, man.
Oh yeah.
I think we're gonna end it. For those of you watching on YouTube, thank you very much. What should they do?
Yes. On YouTube, you should subscribe.
Yeah.
Hit that like button.
Yeah.
Hit the notifications bell.
Yeah.
That helps us with the
Everything.
algorithms.
Everything.
And helps you know when we're going to post next.
Come on. And if you're listening,
what's easier than that?
If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast,
thank you out there in
Google
podcast land.
Podbean.
Yeah. Follow and tell your friends to follow us too.
Oh, you're telling them to follow. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Is there a podcast host called Follow?
No, but it should. You should follow.
Yeah, Follow Pod. Yes. If you are listening on those, thank you. Just thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to say thank you for being our fans. We're fans of you, some of you.
Yeah, because we don't know all of you.
Yeah.
But we're fans of you now because you're following us and you subscribe to us.
That's a good point.
So that makes you family.
Yeah. Like, you mean they could literally come in our house at any time?
Anytime.
No matter who you are.
Yeah.
Just walk in our house. My wife's not going to get mad.
No.
You know, we don't give a rip about privacy.
No.
Just come on in.
No. What's your YouTube name? Little Kid Lover? Come on in, bro.
Oh, wow. I feel like
Thanks, Michael Scott.
Yeah, I was going to say, for the non-Office fans, we should talk about where that came from.
It was coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was coming for sure.
I'm going to think of what did he say? I'm going to think of a name that people know where my priorities are.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right. So my chat room name is going to be Little Kid Lover.
Oh, man.
Yes. Well, with that,
Brilliant show.
we're out of here. And have a great week.
We'll see y'all next. We'll be vaccinated.
I like how you did the Sammy Sosa because
Right?
baseball's tomorrow.
This is more like,
Boom. See ya.
love you, mama.
Bye. I also love you, Mom.
Peace.